I'm going to show you how to make a classic Sri Lankan bun that we can find like a log. We call it Kimbula Banis. For this recipe, I'm using 700 grams of plain flour, or you can use a strong bread flour for this recipe. Then I'm using 35 grams of milk powder, 2 whole eggs, and 10 grams of yeast, and 50 grams of brown sugar for sprinkling on top. And I'm using 100 grams of caster sugar to give a little sweetness, and 50 grams of butter, salt, and nearly 350 milliliters of lukewarm water. To start this recipe, I'm going to mix the ingredients and knead the dough about 15 minutes. Into the mixing bowl, I'm going to add the flour first. This is 700 grams, and sugar and the salt. I'm going to mix this, and meantime I'm going to add a little bit of lukewarm water into the yeast with little bit of sugar. And when you add sugar and yeast with a little bit of lukewarm water, it should come up like this. So that means the yeast you are going to use is good. So I'm going to add the yeast into the mix and mix it slowly. Into that I'm going to add the butter and the milk powder. If you use milk powder, it gives a nice flavor. And a little bit of salt, maybe 1 teaspoon. And into that I am going to add the eggs. 1. The reason I am adding eggs and the milk powder to give a little creaminess into the bun, and the water, and I am going to knead this dough about 15 minutes. The dough is ready, so I'm going to transfer the dough into a greased bowl and leave it again about 1 hour until it becomes double in size. Now I put the dough in a bowl, and I'm going to cover this and put it in a very warm place to ferment it, and it will double in size. The dough is double in size now, so I'm going to knock it down. And flour the bench top. And put it on top of the flour. And make sure when you do this, flour your hands. And I'm going to spread it. I'll cut this in half, I think. If not, it's really hard to spread this. So I'm going to leave half here, and the rest I'm going to roll this to a rectangle. When you roll the pastry, you can cut triangles from the dough like this. Or I'll show you another method after. Take the dough, just like how we do croissants. Roll it from the far end like this to the other end. Like this, and seal it properly, and make sure you make the edges properly and leave it to fermentate again about 45 minutes. I'm doing it again. Take the edge and roll it slowly. Press it from your hand a little bit down to make it together, and like this, and make all the buns like this and leave it on a tray to fermentate. I made some and I'm going to put it in a warm place again about 45 minutes. The buns are ready, so I left this 45 minutes outside, so I'm going to brush it with water. You can brush this with melted butter. I'm adding only water and just to sprinkle the sugar on top. To show you that there is sugar, I'm adding brown crystal sugar on top. And again brush the tops. And after that I'm going to bake this on 160 about 30 minutes. I finished baking the classic Sri Lankan sweet bun called Kimbula Banis, and the recipe works very well, and I hope you will enjoy this recipe. Thank you for watching.